Disclaimer: the information, statements, comments, and opinions provided in this podcast are general in nature and the resources have been cited. None of the authors, contributors, or anyone else connected with this podcast in any way whatsoever can be responsible for your use of the information contained herein. All the views and opinions in this podcast are for entertainment purposes only, and the host is not a professional or legal authority on the subject. Any resemblance to actual persons living or dead or actual events is purely coincidental. User discretion is advised.
You are listening to Jenny Clark at Awakened Souls on Spotify.
The thing that has worked for me is to remember the hard times. So, and I'm sure you guys all have your processes, and again, I'm going to tell you what's worked for me. So before a big movie comes out, before, back in the days when I was wrestling with WWE, a WrestleMania match, anything big that would happen, I would always take a moment and I just remind myself, all right, I was evicted when I was 14. We were kicked off the island. We couldn't live in Hawaii. Had no place to live. A lot of shit happened. Then when I moved to Nashville, I was arrested multiple times by the time I was 16 years old. I would remember that, and it allows me then to be present in the moment and understand, holy, the stuff I have around me right now, this is the shit that I dreamed of when I was a kid. I am here.
Amongst all the challenges that the youth face, here is a powerful motivating speech Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made to Los Angeles Lakers, an American professional basketball team based in Los Angeles.
You are listening to Jenny Clark at Awakened Souls on Spotify or wherever you're listening to our podcast. Every week we will bring you stories, conspiracy theories, and pearls of spiritual wisdom. We will talk about everything from ghosts and hauntings, shamanic teachings and crystal healings, angels and demons to tarot in the occult. If there is anything you want to share or want us to cover, DM us on Awakened Souls at Anchor FM or email us at teamawakenedSouls@gmail.com. Namaste.
I raised my voice, not so I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. We cannot succeed when over half of us are held back. Malala Yousafzai. In this episode, we are discussing the social challenges young people are struggling with today, from gender bias and stereotypes in defining sexual identity, depression and other mental disorders, to drug use and alcohol use, bullying, peer pressure and sexual activity, to harassment.
I'm surrounded by people who are supposed to guide me, and some of them have, and others haven't. They pressure me. There's so much pressure. You gotta be sexy, you gotta be cute, you gotta be nice, you gotta be all these things. And I'm sure you can all relate. You all have pressure that you have to deal with every day. I'm sure with school, with work, with friends, with parents, with family, with parents, I know sometimes with mine. They tell me what to wear, how to look, what I should say, how I should be. Until recently, I had given in to that pressure. I lost sight of who I was. I listened to opinions of people, and I tried to change who I am because I thought that others would accept me for it. And I realized I don't know how to be anything but myself.
That was a speech made by Selena Marie Gomez, an American singer, songwriter, actress, and television producer. Back in 2014, Selena, dressed in a red pantsuit, took to a crowd of 16,000 youth at the first ever V-Day in California to share her story. V-Day events hosts tens of thousands of youth. Students earn their tickets by participating in the V Schools program, a year-long service learning program run by V Charity. This speech by Selena, I remember, gave me goosebumps back then. Let's start with gender bias while we cover everything gender binary and in between. Sexism is prejudice in the form of discrimination against women. From the early 1960s to 1980s, at its very peak, feminism was modeled along the same lines as racism. Oftentimes, women were seen as not given equal opportunity. Beyoncé Knowles, American singer, or Queen Bee as she is known, says, "We need to stop buying into the myth about gender equality. It isn't a reality yet. Today, the average working woman earns only 77% of what the average man makes. But unless women and men both say this is unacceptable, things will not change." And she is right. Brazilian feminist author of the book Invisible Women, Carolyn Criado Perez, says, "There is no such thing as a woman who doesn't work. There is only a woman who isn't paid for her work." She further adds that the world is designed exclusively for men, as she says, quote, "Right from the temperatures in offices, which is designed to be comfortable for the average man but is 5 degrees too cold for women, or buildings with glass staircases that may look cool but turn out to be very inconvenient and also nerve-wracking for women wearing skirts or dresses, or doors that are too heavy to open, or the familiar queues in front of the ladies' toilets are a result of centuries of gender bias in architecture and design." The list goes on. From sexism to what's gender normative. We live in an epoch of gender fluidity and pronouns. An 11-year-old knows better than the 20-somethings what non-binary gender means. They will even explain to you that it's like Loki and his gender fluid status, yet he fathered kids. So when you address a gender binary individual, you had better know whether they want to be addressed as a he, she, they or them. That would be the right etiquette. Gloria Steinem, American feminist journalist, says, "We've begun to raise daughters more like our sons, but few have the courage to raise our sons more like our daughters." Real life imitates art. Many Hollywood stars have opened up about not fitting into a strictly male or female category. Non-binary or genderqueer is an umbrella term for gender identities that are neither female nor male. Let's see what Demi and Lovato said back in May 2021 when they came out as non-binary gender.
This is 4D with Demi Lovato. Living in the fourth dimension means existing consciously in both time and space, but for me, it means having conversations that transcend the typical discourse. I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you. Over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing and self-reflective work. And through this work, I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary. With that said, I'll officially be changing my pronouns to they, them. I feel that this best represents the fluidity I feel in my gender expression and allows me to feel most authentic and true to the person I both know I am and still am discovering.
Another teen icon, Elliot Page, formerly known as actress Ellen Page, received support when he announced that he is transgender and now goes by the name of Elliot. The star, known for starring in hit films Juno and Inception, posted a lengthy statement on Twitter and also appeared on Oprah in April this year, talking about his transformation from the female gender. Another social challenge the youth face is the mental health kind. Depression and anxiety disorders affect an estimated 3.6% of the world's population. According to the World Health Organization, young people are far from immune. The symptoms of depression can include a depressed mood, reduced interest or pleasure in activities once enjoyed, changes in appetite, unintentional weight loss or gain, loss of sexual desire, sleeping too much or too little, agitation, restlessness, slowed movement in speech, fatigue or loss of energy, feelings of worthlessness or guilt, difficulty thinking, concentrating, making decisions, recurring thoughts of death or suicide or an attempt at suicide. Celebrities who struggle publicly are far from vulnerable. Therefore, they should be treated with adequate care. They present their episodes of mania or depression in front of huge crowds, but life's not a performance. On June 23, 2021, pop icon of the song Hit Me Baby One More Time, Britney Spears spoke out against the conservatorship that she has lived under for 13 years, telling a Los Angeles probate judge, "I just want my life back," she said. "I am not here to be anyone's slave." Let's listen to Britney Spears' statement here.
After I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy, it's a lie. I am traumatized.
She's making money for everybody, and when you're making money for everybody, they don't want it to end.
This doesn't typically sound like someone who would need a conservatorship, or does it?
No, it doesn't.
I'm not here to be anyone's slave.
I don't owe these people anything, especially me, the one that has roofed and fed tons of people on tour on the road.
Spears' statement has raised concern on the relevance of conservatorship, an integral part of those suffering from mental illness in the United States. With the hashtag #FreeBritney movement on social media and a 2021 documentary that showed she may feel trapped, people suffering from depression or mental illness have a voice that can carry weight. Young pop star Justin Bieber started his journey to recovery in 2014 after years of making headlines for his bad behavior and drug use. He suffered from depression while touring. Since going through detox and getting married to wife Hailey Baldwin, Bieber says he is now able to drink socially but has avoided narcotics since. Bollywood heroine Deepika Padukone was diagnosed with depression in 2014. The 34-year-old celebrity, who has over 30 movies to her name, said she considered herself lucky that her mother had spotted her symptoms and urged her to seek medical help. Back in 2018, Deepika Padukone opened up about her struggle with depression during her toast at the Time 100 Gala. Let's listen.
Thank you. February 15th, 2014, I remember waking up that morning with this strange pitish feeling in my stomach. I had no idea what I was feeling. Life all of a sudden just felt meaningless, and there were days when I just wanted to give up. And a couple of weeks later, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. 4 years on, I stand here in front of all of you with a slightly better understanding, I think, of life and my feelings and the person that I am.
Bollywood actor 34-year-old Sushant Singh Rajput died under mysterious circumstances in 2020. There were a lot of theories surrounding his death, from nepotism to love gone wrong. The death of such a talented star came as a blow to the world of Bollywood cinema goers. Yet there is no looking away from one of the key points to this sad saga. Sushant suffered from depression and bipolar disorder as diagnosed by his doctor. As a teenager, Russel said he started using drugs and alcohol. He was also treated for depression and had problems binge eating. He has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and ADHD. Yet the British comedian didn't let that stop him. In 2002, he began his recovery journey and has since raised money for drug treatment programs, advocated better mental health resources, and in 2017 released the book Recovery: Freedom from Our Addictions. Here's what Russell said about the pain of addiction.
What lies on the other side of addiction? That's what's interesting. What lies on the other side of the compulsion? See this, when you want to look at social media and you don't, what happens to you? You start to get anxious, you start to get nervous. You want to have sex with someone and you don't, what happens? You start to get nervous, you start to get anxious. Well, you have to go through that pain at some point, because if you live constantly confined by your unwillingness to go through pain, you do not develop into who you are supposed to be. You know, like I've lived in that cycle, and then when I couldn't, it meant I became kind of stagnant spiritually. Yes. Addiction, this isn't really not dumb, it's perhaps the most important observation that can be made about addiction, is that addiction begins with pain and ends with pain.
Bullying. According to statistics, about 20% of teens experienced bullying in 2017. Pop and country singer Taylor Swift famously said, "If you are horrible to me, I'm going to write a song about it and you won't like it. That's how I operate." According to the UNESCO Institute of Statistics, 1/3 of the global youth is bullied. Students aged 12 to 18 experienced various types of bullying, including being the subject of rumors or lies 13.4%, being made fun of, called names or insulted 13%, pushed, shoved, tripped or spit on 5.3%, left out, exclusion, isolating 5.2%, threatened with harm 3.9%, others tried to make them do things they did not want to do 1.9%, property was destroyed on purpose 1.4%, cyberbullying 15% were bullied online or by text. So parents, do keep a watch for the warning signs. This is an interesting recording that Lady Gaga sent to a school, the Etobicoke School of the Arts in Toronto, Canada, when the school took a pledge to put a stop to bullying.
This is Lady Gaga, and hello to ESA and Toronto. I just wanted to tell you how proud I am of you for being such a strong advocate for the LGBT community in your school. There should be more little monsters like you. My father always saves all of the fan letters that I receive, and I read yours very recently and wanted to send this video to you on behalf of not only my team, the House of Gaga, but little monsters around the world. It is important that we push the boundaries of love and acceptance. It is important that we spread tolerance and equality for all students. In light of the recent suicide of Jamie Rodemeyer because of the bullying that he experienced in school, I am going to be working as hard as I can to make bullying a hate crime.
Author Chris Jami says, a young outcast will often feel that there is something wrong with himself, but as he grows older, grows more confident in who he is, he will adapt, he will begin to feel that there is something wrong with everyone else. Moving on to sexual activity. As on 6 Jan 2021, a Pakistani court has outlawed the practice of subjecting female rape survivors to a virginity test in an unprecedented ruling. Lahore's High Court ruled that the virginity test has no legal basis and offends the personal dignity of the female victim. However, premarital sex remains a crime in Pakistan for women and men. It carries a 5-year sentence. Based on the 2017 Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance data, 39.5% of high school students report being sexually active. Dutch sociologist Daphne van de Bongard said in an interview to Writers' Health, to promote youth sexual health, it is important to understand adolescents and how they become sexually active. Peer norms matter. Van de Bongard said, adolescents who think that their peers engage in sex are more likely to engage in sex themselves. A sexual predator is a person who seeks out sexual contact in a predatory or abusive manner. People who are sexual predators may or may not have committed sex crimes, but all sexual predators have sought out inappropriate contact in one way or another. Approximately 96% of child sexual abuse perpetrators are male. The UNICEF website says at least 120 million girls under the age of 20, about 1 in 10 have been forced to engage in sex or perform other sexual acts, although the actual figure is likely much higher. Roughly 90% of adolescent girls who reported forced sex say that their first perpetrator was someone they knew, usually a boyfriend or a husband. But many victims of sexual violence also include millions of boys, and they never tell anyone. Lady Gaga was honest and open about the lasting pain she feels from being sexually assaulted as a teenager.
To be a woman in Hollywood. We women in Hollywood, we are voices. We have deep thoughts and ideas and beliefs and values about the world, and we have the power to speak and be heard and fight back when we are silenced. As a sexual assault survivor by someone in the entertainment industry, as a woman who is still not brave enough to say his name, as a woman who lives with chronic pain, as a woman who was conditioned at a very young age to listen to to what men told me to do.
That was Lady Gaga back in 2018 when she was honored as one of Elle magazine's Women in Hollywood about her experience with harassment. Too often, we presume only women and young girls to be the victims of abuse. There are also many young boys who are survivors or victims of rape or sexual assault. Here I emphasize the importance of being mindful of the existence of male survivors, especially in activism or discussion of sexual violence. There have been countless stories of abuse by religious ministry. Still, there is more awareness now than there was even a decade ago, more so because of the transparency of media and active vigilance by those who seek to protect and uphold the law. In a landmark move, Pope Francis updated the Catholic Church's criminal code on June 1, 2021 by adding details on punishing sexual abuse crimes of minors by priests, a measure long sought by activists against pedophilia.
What this also helps me do, and again, it works for me, is at some point, you gotta be tired of not being number one. You have to be, and you gotta play angry, and I play angry. Now, I'm cool and calm with my approach, and when I step out on my field, which is a set, or, you know, like, there's some, and you're always gonna have haters, and haters are like, well, God damn, man, how many movies are you gonna make, or how much shit are you gonna do? Like, you do a lot of shit. I say, yes, it's my ambition. Of course, why not? I could do it. Yeah, I love what I do. And not only that, but in what world do we not work every day? My back is up against this thing, you know, and I started to play angry, by the way, and I still play angry. My last match, Brock Lesnar, transitioned, and I realized if I had to be great at something, I wanted to be great in this world of Hollywood and movie making and producing and entertainment, I had to commit, and like you guys have to commit. Obviously, you commit to something, commit to the goal.
Amongst all the challenges that the youth face, here is the powerful, motivating speech Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made to Los Angeles Lakers, an American professional basketball team based in Los Angeles. You will be inspired and motivated to go out there and achieve your goals. With that, we come to the end of this week's podcast. Thank you for listening to Awakened Souls with Jenny Clark. Do click the subscribe button and share your views. Love yous, namaste, and angel blessings.
You are listening to Jenny Clark at Awakened Souls on Spotify, or wherever you're listening to our podcast. Every week we will bring you stories, conspiracy theories, and pearls of spiritual wisdom. We will talk about everything from ghosts and hauntings, shamanic teachings and crystal healings, angels and demons, to tarot in the occult. If there is anything you want to share or want us to cover, DM us on Awakened Souls at Anchor FM, or email us at teamawakendsouls@gmail.com. Namaste.